Hello guys, good morning. Good morning my small community. Good morning my friends. And I was about to cook something real quick and I realized why I'm not sharing this with people that might be interested with the video. It's a very simple dish. Some of you might have heard of it. It's chicken fajitas. You can have beef fajitas, chicken fajitas, pork fajitas, but me, I like chicken fajitas because it's very simple. And then it doesn't require a lot of ingredients. As you can see, you just need some onion, you need some pepper. Usually I will put green, yellow, red, orange, but today I just have these two. So just to show you that you can do a lot of things with whatever you already have in the pantry. And then I have some baked chicken that I made yesterday. That was a leftover from yesterday, so I'm going to be using it for my fajitas. And you will also need I love this seasoning. It's called dry jerk. It's really nice, and as you can see, it's not that expensive. This whole bottle lasts more than 3 months, so for $6 it's not bad. And you will also need a regular salt, of course, whatever you prefer when it comes to salt. And then in my pantry, I also like to use the complete seasoning from Badia. Um, for the fajitas, some olive oil. Um, doesn't have to be ultra virgin. Regular mild taste olive oil will be fine. And of course, white pepper. So basically, that's all you need. Let me position the camera so you can see what I'm doing. You might not be able to see me, and I apologize for that reason because, like I said yesterday, the kitchen is really small, but I will try to make the best out of it. So let's start. Sorry about that because I started before you guys, so I will just take you back to the step that I took. So I cut the onion, and because I'm missing some of the pepper, I will cut a lot of onion. But if you don't like the onion, you can just cut one half. But I'm going to cut the whole onion for this one. So I'm not a chef, so don't expect to see that rapid movement like you see usually on TV. So I just cut my onion the regular way. But you need a sharp knife, that's for sure. And you don't need some kind of fancy knife for that. So I just cut my onions this way. It's a little bit messy, but I don't like conventional cooking, so I always do stuff my way. That way it's a little bit more personal. So I will cut my onion, and so the onions are ready. We will go back to the onion later. And I cut everything, but I will use 3/4 of the onion that I cut today, just so the onion don't overpower the other ingredient. Um, so the onions are ready. I'll be cutting the pepper. You can cut two ways. You can cut in half and remove the interior, or that's a little trick that I got from Ramsey. You can cut them this way. You see, and that way you get rid of this part that you don't really like, you don't need. I'll put it aside, and I'll go inside and I'll cut the white part. And I would just cut it the long way. It doesn't need to be that big, but it don't need to be too small as well. So I'll cut it this way. And remember, whenever you're cooking, it's not much about the process. It's much about how you feel. Me, I don't like to follow the recipe the way it's been given to me. I always like to improvise, so that way every time I cook it's a different experience, or every time I cook it's something different than the previous time. I don't like to eat the same thing twice. Although I will go to a restaurant and eat and order the same thing twice. But when it comes to cooking, I don't like to cook the same thing twice. So I always leaves room for improvisation whenever I cook. So like I said, you can put your pepper this way. You go around, you come to the bottom, you try to expose the middle, that's the part you don't need. By cutting it that way, you get rid of this part easily. And once again, I want to apologize for the positioning, but I want the camera to focus on the process, so that way you don't have to I don't have to go back and forth showing my face and zooming on the food that I'm trying to show you. So for this, I can divide this one in two because they are very long strip. Um, Compared to the green, that was a smaller pepper. So I'll cut this in half. And the fun part is to come. The good thing with the fajitas is you can eat them with tortillas, as you can see. I have a regular flour tortilla. You can get it at your local store, whatever your local store is, Giant, H Mart, Walmart, Wise. Or you can eat it with fried plantain. As I don't have fried plantain today, we will go with the tortillas. But you can literally have it with the fried plantain as well, but it's better with the tortilla. So that's what we are going to do today. Some people like to warm up the tortilla. For me, it doesn't really matter if you want to. Since that package wasn't open before, I would just go ahead and do it with the fresh tortilla. So when I put the oil in the pot, it's gonna go very fast. So a good idea would be to get all your ingredients ready rather than start with the veggies, because the veggies won't last long on the in the oven. I will get all the ingredients ready, so that way when I start cooking, I don't have to burn, or I don't have to overcook the the veggies, because I'm still cutting the chicken. So I will go ahead and grab the chicken and cut the chicken. Those are chicken thighs. You can do it for the fajitas. Some people prefer the chicken breast because they have more taste. But because this was a leftover from yesterday, I won't beat myself up. I will just go ahead and cut it. Get rid of the bone. And then don't cut it in big chunks, just small pieces. The idea for you is to remove all the meat around the bones, because you will need that meat in a few seconds. So I'll cut in small pieces. With me and my wife, we eat the chicken yesterday. It was very tasty, very nice. So it's always better the day after. You should try it. The leftover most of the time are better the fresh food when it comes to the seasoning, because during the night they have the time to penetrate the meat even more than when you originally cook them. That's why most of the time the leftovers is even better or tastier than the food that you cook on day one. Uh, but after the second day or the third day, it's not that good anymore. So the leftovers the day after is better, but 2 3 days after, not really. So I'll cut my chicken. I have just three small pieces, but that's enough for a meal of two or three. So that's a good idea. If you have friend over, you don't feel like going running to the store, and you happen to have some leftover chickens, some pepper, onion, you are good to go. You can have your fajitas with, like I say, with tortilla, or you can have your fajitas with your chicken fajitas with fried plantain, fried sweet plantain. The precision is important. So I'll cut the last piece of chicken. Mm. And we should be good to go. So at this point, uh, the preparation might take 5 to 10 minutes, and the cooking will be 5 to 10 minutes, depending. I like. I don't like uh, saggy vegetable. So in order to crisp your vegetable, so you taste the way you like when you take your bite, you will have to cook it on medium to high heat, and then I will show you why in a minute. So my chicken is ready. As you can see, I have a good portion of chicken. My orange and green pepper are ready, and as well as my onion. On a 12-inch pan, those are the best for the fires, but if you have a wok, you can use it as well. I will heat it for about 2 to 3 minutes. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna wash my hand real quick. Okay, so as I was saying, I usually don't measure things. I just appreciate uh, with my eyes what I need. In this case, I would for you to reproduce the same thing at home. I would say take about 3 spoons of olive oil. Uh, you take about 3 spoons of oil, because what you're looking for is to flash fry the vegetable. You don't want too much oil, otherwise they'll be swimming in the oil, and before you know, they'll be soggy. No, that's not what you want. You want to flash fry it. You're looking for that sizzling, and I will tell you what I mean when I say sizzling. So we will let it get hot for a minute. You don't need much stuff after this part. So while the tortilla, while the oil is getting warm, it's getting hot. Uh, we have an electric stove. I prefer gas because gas is faster. But just remember, if you have an electric stove, you have to have you cannot work with a pot that is not flat, or it will take too much time for you to cook your food, twice as much time. So the all is ready, so you will grab your onion first, and this is what I was talking about with the seasoning part. This is, this is the sound that you are looking for. Okay? Like I said, we will use 3/4 of the onion. You will let the onion sizzle for about 30 seconds. Meanwhile, you can add the salt, about 2 dash of salt. We will add the total seasoning and the dry jerk later. So while the onion is sizzling, you will add your veggies. Turn up the heat a little bit. You can add the rest of the veggies. Now I will add a teaspoon, about a teaspoon of dry jerk. I know because I've been cooking for a little while, so I know that this is about a teaspoon. So I'm done with the dry jerk. Make it even. Just make sure that it's still sizzling. Sorry about that. I will turn on the fan. That's the sound that you want to have throughout your cooking. You want that sizzling all the way throughout your cooking. So you know you are not frying the veggies, but you are flash frying them. I will add about a teaspoon of total seasoning, and I'm done with the pot as well. Just a dash of white pepper. That's it. Some people, they will add soy sauce. You really don't have to, but if you want, if you like soy sauce, you can. I used to add soy sauce, but and then I stopped. So it's just a matter of preferences. The idea with the chicken fajitas is to cook the vegetable halfway through, not completely. So after flash frying the vegetable for about 2 minutes, now you will add your chicken for the remaining of the cooking. So here comes the chicken. And like I said, if you want to add soy sauce, this is the time where you add soy sauce. But I did it in the past and I didn't really like it with soy sauce, so I will just do it this way. You see, you have a very nice pot of vegetable, just with 2 pepper, onion, and the chicken. So you will cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. You need to turn it constantly so one part or one side doesn't cook more than the other side. So I will get my cutting board ready. I can put the rest of the onion for another recipe later. Get rid of the bones. This side and if it gets too dry, don't panic. You can just add just a little bit of water. literally a few drops to make it moist. Just a little bit of water to make it moist so it's clean. The idea is not to cook everything together, but the idea is to infuse the vegetable with the chicken taste. So that's what we are doing. But it should not take, that part should not take more than 5 minutes. If you go farther than 5 minutes, your vegetable won't be crispy anymore. So I will get the tortillas, and I will be just doing 2 tortillas. So you can do as many as you want after you are trying to get full and not just eating. So I will get the 2 tortilla ready. You can put the tortilla on top to infuse them with a little bit of moisture on top, but you don't have to. And then some people, if you like it, some people will put sour cream in the tortilla. You can put sour cream at the base. Sorry about that. You can put sour cream on the base. You can put grated cheese. But for today, I won't put any of them. I will just leave it like that. I will leave it like the original recipe. And of course, some people don't like cheese. Some people can eat sour cream, so you don't have to. So I will leave it like that for today. And then it's ready. So you will load as much as you want. I will just go with a little bit because I should be able, I want it to be able to still close my tortilla. So I will load the fajitas in my tortilla. As you can see, that's plenty enough for 2 full tortillas that you can enjoy with your favorite drinks, whether it's wine, soda, water, doesn't really matter. But the idea is, what can I cook in 10 minutes? And as you saw, it didn't take us 10 minutes to cook this meal, but it is delicious. So let me turn this one off. This is the final result. Sorry about the light, it's very bright. There you go. So this is the final result. Oh, where's my camera? There you go. So this is the final result. Going on the chicken fajitas. The way they looks, but I can assure you, it's really good and really tasty. So